This is a genuinely historic moment for computing.
Okay, let me set the stage for this because it blew my mind. There were 10 major, highly complex mathematical problems that have been unsolved for roughly 100 years.
A century.
A century. We are talking about literal generations of PhD mathematicians who spent their entire careers, their entire adult lives, trying to crack these specific equations. And Astra just solved all 10 of them in a matter of days.
And here is the data point that changes everything.
Yeah.
The total computing cost to solve a century of impossible PhD-level mathematics was roughly $2,000.
Wait, so an AI just pulled off the chalkboard scene from Good Will Hunting, solved math that broke human geniuses for 100 years, and it cost $2,000.
$2,000.
What does a human mathematician even do with that information on a Tuesday? Just pack up their chalk and go become a barista.
I mean, it is existentially terrifying for academia. But if we analyze the economics, it is a revolutionary deflationary force.
How do you mean?
We are transitioning from a system where solving complex problems requires decades of human labor, university grants, and immense salaries to a system where genius-level reasoning is just a raw compute commodity that costs a couple $1,000s.
Commoditizing genius, that is wild.
And when you commoditize something that powerful, you immediately start collapsing established legacy monopolies.
Alibaba just dropped Qwen 3.8 Max. It's totally free, open source, and has 2.4 trillion parameters.
Right, and think of parameters like the digital synapses in the AI's brain.
Exactly. And at that massive scale, you can give it one single text prompt, and it just codes an entire working app for you.
I mean, we're seeing this race to the bottom for software costs everywhere. Like a company just launched GenOffice, which is a totally free AI-powered alternative to Microsoft Office.
Which is huge.
Yeah, it's handling docs, sheets, slides across Windows and Mac for $0. It's a total inversion of the expensive hardware market.
Global smartphone shipments declined by 11%. Like fewer devices are physically going out the factory doors. But the total revenue for the smartphone market, it actually grew by 7%.
The math on that is just, well, it's staggering. If volume is down double digits, but revenue is up, consumers are undeniably holding onto their phones longer, right? Upgrade cycles are stretching to 3 or even 4 years now.
Which makes sense.
But when they do finally upgrade, they aren't buying the base model anymore. They're jumping up a tier. They want the premium materials, the pro-level camera sensors, and, crucially, they want to future-proof their device for AI.
Right, because AI is everywhere.
Exactly. So the volume drops, but the per-unit price shoots the revenue numbers into the stratosphere.
Okay, but wait, here's where it gets crazy. Of all that total global revenue, literally every dollar spent on a smartphone anywhere on the planet, Apple just captured a staggering 49%.
It's almost monopolistic. They are essentially walking away with half the pie, leaving literally every other manufacturer on Earth to fight over the crumbs.
Out of every $100 spent, 49 go directly to Cupertino. That is just absolute ecosystem dominance. And what's wild is that they're doing this while struggling with major supply chain bottlenecks on other fronts.
Oh, you mean the MacBook Air situation?
Yeah, the MacBook Airs.
Right. Well, the chip shortages are hitting their laptop divisions incredibly hard. Apple simply cannot fabricate the silicon fast enough to meet the demand for those new Airs.
It's a huge bottleneck.
And from a consumer economic standpoint, when demand vastly outpaces its supply line, you lose all your leverage. Prices naturally inflate, discounts disappear entirely, and you end up paying top dollar just for the privilege of waiting like 6 weeks for shipping.
Chinese military researchers used US-based AI models, specifically commercial models from OpenAI and Anthropic, to train their own domestic defense AI systems.
Right.
They used this technique called distillation to essentially siphon knowledge from the US models and then applied that advanced reasoning to their own military systems for drone surveillance and cyber warfare.
The irony is profound. US commercial tech inadvertently acting as a direct accelerant for foreign military technology.
Right. Let me make sure I'm wrapping my head around this. Through this distillation process, these cutting-edge American AI models basically became unwitting tutors for foreign defense networks.
Essentially, yes.
How does a company even begin to plug that leak when the tech is publicly accessible?
To understand why it's so hard to stop, you have to understand the mechanics of AI distillation. Imagine a master chef and a novice cook.
Okay, I'm listening.
In machine learning, the teacher model is the master chef. Massive, incredibly complex, trained on supercomputers for millions of dollars, like GPT-4 or Claude.
Right, the big guys.
The student model is the novice. Distillation is a process where the novice doesn't need to read the master chef's secret recipe book or steal their kitchen.
Oh, interesting.
The novice just watches the master chef cook a million different meals, takes meticulous notes on the chef's logic and behavior, and learns to mimic the output.
Wow. So you don't need to hack OpenAI servers or steal their source code.
Not at all.
You just automate a system to ask their public-facing AI millions of brilliant, complex questions, take its perfect answers, and use those answers as synthetic training data for your own private military-grade model.
Exactly. You are computationally extracting the intelligence and the reasoning pathways without needing the underlying architecture.
Just to quickly recap the absolute whiplash of this tech stack, we started with OpenAI solving a century of impossible math for less than the price of a used laptop. We saw Apple casually vacuuming up half of all the money spent on smartphones globally, while we all pay a premium for fewer devices. And we unpacked how the global open source movement is inadvertently causing AI distillation for international defense systems.
A very standard week in technology.
Honestly, yeah. But before we wrap up and let you go, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over, specifically building off that AI defense story.
Okay.
We are currently living in this golden age of open source AI, where the most powerful tools are just out there for anyone to download, iterate on, and use.
The Wild West of intelligence.
All right. But if foreign militaries are successfully using these commercial open source models to rapidly build and refine their own defense systems, well, how long until governments step in and force companies to close the open source window entirely?
That is the big question.
Are we going to look back at 2026 as the last year before national security regulations forced AI back behind closed doors and paywalls? If the tech is this dangerous in the wrong hands, maybe the era of free and open is already living on borrowed time.
If the geopolitical stakes keep rising, the open source community might face a massive regulatory reckoning. It's a fascinating thing to consider.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Thanks for hanging out with us on this deep dive. Stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next one.